last week I watched a guy burn $57,000 on Facebook ads to sell a $27 template, $27 ebook template. And he made $1,800 total. And everything in the comments, like when he was telling people about this, they were asking for his funnel blueprints. His funnel blueprints. That's when it like hit me. We are all standing around the wrong funeral here. Everybody's crying about products dying, course sales tanking, engagement dropping, but they're mourning for the wrong corpse. Like info products are not dying. Like this industry is not dying at all. Trust is already dead. And that changes everything, like truly everything. And so while everybody's racing to the bottom with their $27 templates and recycled frameworks, they're missing the real opportunity, the actual opportunity. And that opportunity is just staring them right in the face. And so when trust dies, and hear me on this, like whoever can resurrect that trust, they become the only person that's going to win the game. If you think about that for a second, like your audience, they've been burned like repeatedly. And so they bought a course or worked with a coach or consultant that promised them six figures. They joined this mastermind that guaranteed this massive transformation. They downloaded this template that, didn't even upload or didn't even let them download. And so that thing was supposed to supposedly change everything, but nothing happened, nothing changed. And so now they sit there with their credit cards in hand, completely paralyzed, right? Not because they don't want solutions or want to fix their pain, but because they don't believe in you. They don't believe that you have the solution for them because the trust is just gone. And it's not necessarily that they don't trust you, they just don't trust really anybody. And so the market isn't saturated with products, it's saturated with liars and scammers. And here's what's really wild is everybody knows that trust is just gone, right? But they're trying to fix that trust with the same broken tools that killed it in the first place, like more testimonials. People know, like if you're smart, if you have common sense, like most testimonials on people's pages, they're cherry picked. And so, let's just have better case studies. Like everybody assumes that they're fake. Or money back guarantees. Like, please, we all know the loops and the hoops that we have to go through to get them, right? And so, you know what real currency is of this year is and every year is radical proof. And not testimonials, not case studies, not screenshots of like your Stripe dashboard, for God's sakes. I'm talking about like live documented transformation happening in real time, like showing the mess and the process and the failures that you've gone through, the 2 a.m. panic attacks and like the strategy that completely tanked or the client who might have asked for a refund and exactly why they did. Because here's the thing about transparency. And honestly, it's one of the most competitive moats that your competitors can never copy. Like they can steal your templates and they can swipe your copy. They can duplicate your entire funnel, but they can't replicate your willingness to like show up naked, right? And so yesterday I got this DM from somebody asking about growth tactics, or growth hacks of the new year. And I told them, the truth is that everybody's fighting for attention while I'm cornering the market on actually giving a shit, right? And so I'm serious. Like your competitors, they're out there automating their DMs, scheduling their authentic posts 3 weeks in advance. They're using AI to write their personal stories, and they're wondering why engagement is tanking because it all sounds like AI. They're trying to take the pain off of them of being real and authentic. And so most people don't get it. Like people are so starved for real human interaction that one genuine conversation, I can tell you it's worth more than 1,000 followers. Hell, it's worth more than 10,000, 100,000 followers. And if you, truly, if we break this down with simple math, is like the old math, 10,000 followers times 1% engagement times 1% conversion, it equals maybe like a sale, maybe a couple sales. The new math is like 10 real conversations actually creates, 3 to 5 sales and 10 people who will never forget you. Like they're a fan for life. And I know which math that I'm betting on. Like I could truly care less about how many followers I have. And look, this is going to sound cold, but it's the truth. Like everybody is lonely. Everybody's craving real human connection. Everybody wants to feel seen. Like the notion that social media was supposed to make us social, it actually made us insocial. The pendulum was swung so far to the other side that it's taken, humanness out of human connection. And so what are we giving them? Like, what is most people giving them? They're giving them automated welcome sequences, templates, and templated responses, and scheduled vulnerability posts that was wrote 6 months ago. And so essentially, like, we're serving McDonald's to people starved for a home cooked meal. Like, the real game isn't building audiences anymore. It's building relationships with actual names of people, like inside jokes and real stories and real authentic connection. The kind where you are remembered, and the kind like you remember their dog's name and their kids' birthdays, and, you know, even their kids' soccer games, like, you remember. That's not scalable. Of course not. Good. That's exactly why it works. And so, true story. Like, last month, you know, I deleted my entire funnel. I just got rid of it. $30,000 worth, maybe even more, of optimized years of optimizations. You know, all these different email sequences and A/B tests, everything, just until your eyes would bleed with all this stuff that I've optimized over many, many years. Just deleted it all, took it down, closed the software completely, and replaced it with this actual, like, caring about the person on the other side of the screen. And so one real conversation, one problem actually solved, one person who feels seen. That is my new funnel. And before you, like, roll your eyes, like, wait and listen to this. Like, I made more in those last 30 days than I have in the whole previous quarter. How is that possible? Because while everybody else is having a mental breakdown about, like, iOS and AI updates and all these algorithm changes and the new ads that are rolling out of, like, the new ad changes of the platforms, like, I'm having actual real conversations with real humans about their actual problems. Revolutionary, right? But here's the harsh truth that truly nobody wants to hear. The algorithm change, like, it didn't change. Your audience just developed immunity to your bullshit, to the noise. And so they've seen so many Monday motivation posts. They've seen them 47,000 times. They've heard the vulnerability post story that one time that you failed and then you succeeded. Like, they've seen it, and they've seen it in so many other people, like the same shit over and over again. They're numb to the transformational testimonials that are scattered throughout your site that all sound so amazing. And you know what they haven't seen? You unscripted, like, admitting that you have no idea what you're doing and the things that you've done and why you're doing it, and truly real and authentic. And, like, just showing up to just share because you want to share. You're sharing, like, your mess instead of just the message. Like, you're sharing your true authentic self. You, like, you're being actually human instead of just performing like humanity, right? And just being a performance, like a dancing puppet. And so I posted last week about the worst presentation of my life. No lessons, no silver lining, just like I bombed so hard in front of 200 people, I really wanted to disappear. And I got 118 DMs flooded into my inbox. 24 became clients. 0 sales pitch, 0 funnel. The failure was the pitch. And so this happens from me admitting my failure. It was real. Like, boring content, it isn't algorithm proof. Human content is. And so let me paint a picture of you, like, of what's dying right now. Like, fake expertise in this planet is dying. Like, that guy teaching a course on something he did once, even if he made millions of dollars from it, like, it's gone. Polished personas of all that shit, like, dying. Your carefully curated feed of, like, perfect pixel Instagram, like, you are invisible. Scale first thinking, like, scale to the moon, like, is dying. Your optimization obsession is, like, irrelevant. Template businesses are just dying. Like, your copy paste empires, shit is worthless. Perfect vulnerability, like, all that shit's dying. Like, your stage authenticity, it's just transparent. And you know what's being born in its place? Radical transparency, like documented journeys in real life time, like performing in public. Like, that journey is worth somebody listening, and they truly want to listen. Like, depth over reach, custom everything, like human first interaction, chaotic authenticity, original thinking happening, like, in public live, not names or numbers of relationships or all this shit or this many followers that you have. Like, truly, what really kills me is that everybody thinks the answer is to get better at the game, better at funnels, better at automation, better at systems. And like, I get it. Like I develop systems. That comes after the game of authenticity. But if you if you actually think about this, like, what is the answer? Like, it's to stop playing their game, like, entirely. Like, what if while they're optimizing their funnels or all this shit, they're optimizing their systems, you're optimizing for real humans and like authenticity. While they're scheduling, their authentic post, you're just actually being authentic. And so while they're fighting the algorithms, you are just creating undeniable value that just connects at somebody's core, like to their soul level. And so while they're selling solutions and building their teams bigger to try and make up for their margins, you just share like suffering that you're going through this and like you're just learning. And while they're building audiences, you're just building relationships. And so while they're perfecting all of this, like, you're just perfecting your presence and how you show up. And so see, the trust crisis it's not only killing the industry, it's making the new industry come. It's creating a monopoly opportunity for the brave enough to like step into that transparency of being themselves, like being real and authentic. And if you think about it like this, like when everybody's racing to the bottom with like cheaper products, faster delivery, more bonuses, better guarantees, more complex funnels, like, what's the one thing that they can never compete on, ever, no matter what? Is being you. Actually, genuinely, messily being you, right? And so your competitors can copy your sales page. They can try and create a carbon copy of you. They can't copy your willingness to admit that you wrote what you did at like 3 a.m. after your fourth panic attack of the week. Like, they can't steal your framework and how you view the world. And so they can steal your ability to say like, I don't know, when you actually don't know, and that's fine. But they can't duplicate your empire, like your business model of how you view the world. And they can't duplicate your humanity, right? They can try, but they'll fail. And so, you know what the market doesn't need? Does not need another guru with all the other answers, right? Trying to pretend they know everything. Like what it's truly desperate for, like the market, somebody who gets it, right? Who's been in the trenches, who can articulate their exact flavor of stuck. Like, you are inside their head and they're like, wow, this person is like what I need in my entire life. They have figured out the game and they've done it as if they were me. It's like a release off of their soul. You just create a fan for life. And so the market isn't hungry for more answers. It's starving for somebody who understands the questions, right? Your janky like Google Doc actually helps somebody. Like, it beats their $500,000 funnel that feels like a conveyor belt of just like pushing people down to this meat grinder. And so you're honest, I'm figuring this out too. Like, it beats their false certainty every single time. And I'm not saying you need to be that, because you need to be you. Like, create the you. Like, systems don't create trust, stories do. Authenticity does. And look, and the best story, like, you can tell, the one where you are not the hero who's arrived, but the fellow traveler who's 2 steps ahead of the other person, willing to like shine that flashlight back at them so they can walk through that horror. Like, that is where you're going to truly win. And so my prediction for this year and just beyond is like, the future doesn't belong to the most optimized. I believe that it belongs to the most human-like people. And so, especially in the age of AI where it's coming, and like, while everybody else is trying to hack their way to success, the real winners will be the ones who are remembered. And that business is just humans helping humans. And that is your one competitive advantage that your competitors can't copy. They can't automate. They can't scale, right? Like, your humanity, your mess, your story, your willingness to show up as you are, that's not just like your brand guidelines, as they say it should be. It is literally authentically you. And so if you look, like, you could end this with some rally cry about seizing an opportunity of disrupting the industry or whatever it is. But if you're real for a second and we uncover this, is like, you're either going to watch this and nod along and then go back to like scheduling your authentic content like weeks ahead of time, or you're going to do something and like truly think about this. And I get it, like it feels absolutely terrifying, right? Like you're going to have a real conversation with yourself today, like with a real person about a real problem and make a real connection. Like no templates, no scripts, no agenda, except like just actually giving a damn, right? Like that's the actual agenda, is like to truly care. And when you do that, like when you realize like something wild is going to happen, that one conversation will do more for your business than every optimization hack that you've tried in the last 6 months to a year. Because in a world of like automation, attention, it's common, right? But intention, that is the new monopoly. And so welcome to the human revolution. It's messier here, right? But it's real. And the real is the only currency that's going up in value.